Good morning, y'all. I'm not the one you normally see in the bee suit, but Ben is at work, and of course things always happen when he's at work. We have a massive swarm that Lane spotted. So Lane is suited up, I'm suited up. We're heading over here to try to take care of this. Who knows how this will go. We're not the main beekeepers of this place, so we'll see. Well, that did not go as smoothly as when Ben does it. It's me and Lane out here. I don't even know if in all this I told you that, but it was an enormous swarm, and we worked together and shook it off in the box. Phew, but there's still some on the tree. I don't know if the queen is up there or if we got her in this box. What do you think?
I don't think she's up there because I've shook it off a couple times.
Yeah.
And they just keep going back to that exact same spot. So I'm thinking that may be where she was.
Yeah.
They can smell her scent up there where she was. And if you look, the bees are all flapping their wings and what's called fanning. And he taught me that that means she's most likely in here. And they're spreading her scent out to the other bees like, hey, we're down here now. So I'm gonna put these frames in and put the lid on, and we'll leave them alone for a bit, and hopefully they'll all migrate down here.
Yeah. We got to run to town and make an egg delivery. We'll check this situation when we get back.
But I'm being very careful so I don't smush hers.
Yeah, don't smush her. They're not very happy right now.
No, they really want to sting me right now.
Yeah. They're like buzzing my face. I hate this feeling. I'm remaining calm.
You gotta admit though, it's kind of cool that you're in the midst of all this danger and you're perfectly protected.
I know, it is pretty cool. All right, are we gonna put the lid on?
Yeah, I'm fixing to. I'll put the frame.
Okay.
And they're not all flying back up to that branch, and they've been here for like several minutes.
Yeah. And maybe those that are on that branch will make their way down. I don't know if this will ever work. Lane, don't lean too far over. You're pulling that jacket out, and they're gonna go up your back.
There's a bee on the mic, so it's going to be very loud. I can't film like this.
Go on, dudes.
They're attacking our microphone.
Yeah, they are. They're getting down in this fuzzy ball. There's two of them. Go.
So I think we did pretty good. We'll come back in a bit. Hopefully we don't have to do anything else.
Okay, these bees do not like the sock on this, so you're liable to hear some buzzing on this audio. I am so proud of the kid. He done a marvelous job. I don't know what he's talked about, but I love being able to just walk him through, tell him something, and him be able to figure out and do it. These bees are all over this hive, and it looks like he done a great catch. I'm fixing to open it up and adjust my frames in there. If my smoker hadn't went out. There we go. All right, something else that'll calm them down. I've got sugar water mixed up in here. Wow, that's a lot of bees. Let's give them a little squirt. All right, when he called me, I was not prepared for another swarm this quick. I am running out of frames. I do got some boxes I've got put together I need to get painted. I did have these frames that I just rolled some fresh wax on, and one of them that had some drawn comb on it. But these 3 frames and this frame right here are just blank frames with a strip of wax foundation at the top that will allow the bees to build their own honeycomb. But when you have them stacked together like that, the bees can build in whatever direction they want, and sometimes they'll cross comb them different directions. So I don't like doing blank frames like that next to each other. What I need to do is I need to go in here and draw these solid frames out and put in between these. This one here is good because you got a solid frame and a solid frame, so they're more than likely going to pull that wax comb. They're going to draw that comb out across there pretty straight. But with these three being right next to each other, I need to pull that frame. No, I need to pull this end frame and put there and put that one there. That way they'll have solid frame, blank frame, solid flame, solid, blah, you know what I mean. Can't talk right now. I am just blown away with how many bees are in here. This thing is huge. I am so glad I did not lose this. That's what I'm talking about. You can see there's nothing in there except a wax strip at the very top. Now all we need to do is pull this frame right here. We'll pop it out. Come on, come out of there. Over here. Try not to smush any of them and get them agitated. Man, there's a lot of bees all over this. I need to hold on to that one and not set it down. Pick that one up, gently set it down in there, up against the side, push these back against it. So calm them down a little bit, a little squirt of sugar water. And look at that. Look at all them bees. I need to be a little more prepared. Alright, so one thing I told you here a while back on one of my last videos is I've got the swarm traps up by the house, and if I have scout bees scouting them out, I'm fairly confident that one of my hives is liable to swarm. And I've had that for about 2 weeks now, I've come over and I've went through my hives, and I had 2 of them that were close to swarming. They had started queen cells. They hadn't had them capped off yet, but I went ahead and pulled those queen cells out and set them over in what I call mating nukes. From there, I was pretty confident. I've avoided a swarm, but now here it is 2 times within a week, and we've got 2 massive swarms. I'm gonna have to spend some time and go back through all my hives. One definite is I have got more hives than I like to mess with. I only like to have about 10, but with the swarm season like it is, I'm catching bees left and right. Not only here on these fruit trees at the house, I'm catching them in my swarm traps, them flower pot swarm trap. Those flower pot swarm traps, they are doing amazing. I've brought home a couple more in the last week. So as you can see behind me, our apiary is growing massively. One thing I'm needing to work on ASAP, I'm wanting to get all this grass underneath them knocked down. I think I'm gonna put billboard down and then put mulch or gravel or something on top of that just to keep it weighted down, keep all the grass out of here. I come over here yesterday and push mowed and weed eated. It is growing big time. Something else I've got to get onto ASAP is more hive stands. With all the hives, I've got everything filled up, and wanting to put down billboards, I really need to move these off, and I'd like to put one solid sheet down rather than cutting it up in pieces. But if you don't know about bees, you can't move their hive more than 2 feet, or you need to move it at least 2 miles. That's what I've always heard. I've moved some less than 2 miles. They went right back to where they had came from, and that's a headache. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna have to do is just do a temporary 2-foot offset off of this, put my weed fabric down, get all my hive stands built, and then set everybody back up there. The trouble with that is some of these, that one in particular, is very, very heavy. It's full of honey. It, along with a couple more, have got some pretty full honey supers. It won't be long till we'll be harvesting honey. I may actually wait until after we harvest honey and then move them off. They'll be much, much lighter then. So now let's count. We got the swarm from today. Those 2, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a swarm. 8, 9, 10. There's a swarm. 11. Those are my mating nukes. We won't count them right yet because they don't have a verified queen in them. So after that we got 12, 13, another swarm. This here is my last swarm, and it's just sitting on top of some other boxes because I am out of hive stand. And I've actually got that down there. That's a friend of mine's. He caught bees. He's learning how to get into bees this year, and I told him to bring them over here because that went into that 2-mile effect. He caught these bees about 1 mile to 1.5 miles behind his house, and I told him as soon as he moved them, they're liable to turn around and go right back. So he brought them over here. We're going to let them get used to being here for about a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then he's going to come back and get them and take them back to his house. Alright, so I know I've said it before and I'll say it again. When you have your bees in an orchard over by fruit trees or just trees with low limbs like these, when that is their first ones to come to, more than likely they're going to swarm and they're going to hit that first. They'll get up and go to wherever they found for their next hive to be. But if you pay attention, a lot of times, and that's why I like mine over here around these fruit trees, is they'll swarm into that first, and you can usually catch them like that. While we're over here in the fruit trees, we've got a cherry tree, we've got a peach tree, a plum tree, there's a little apple tree, it isn't doing too well, and a pear tree. Those have been planted now for 3 years, I think. We got those from a local nursery here in Arkansas, but we just placed an order with Stark Brothers, and we planted this weekend another cherry tree. This is a sweet cherry tree. It's the Windsor sweet cherry. I also planted this one. This is a dwarf sweet cherry tree. This guy is big. Look at the base on that thing already. When I planted these, I planted them, you know, we've got our sweet potato row right down through here. I planted them right at the edge, hoping this billboard fabric will keep the weed pressure down and give these more of a chance to kick off. This here is a fig tree. And then I also planted two pawpaws. I got this one here, and I got that one right down there. Down at the very end, I've got a seedless grape and a muscadine grape. Oh, how I love muscadines. The muscadine grapes are supposed to grow to be some really big muscadines. Super excited about them, but that is more work that I'm gonna have to get on pretty quick. I've got to get a trellis up for them to start running on. All right, these bees, they're kind of agitated. Of course they are. I've been popping their front door open. So I'm gonna go over in front of the house, and I've got one more tree to plant. Now that we're done over there, I got one more tree to plant, and this is a pecan tree. So excited about pecan tree. We go to other people's places and pick up pecans. Maybe one of these days we'll have our own right here on the farm. We're gonna plant it right in front of the house. We're in this area where the cluck wagon was for a while to get the birds used to it. Very good rich soil. I'm gonna get a pretty good size hole dug down. I'm gonna put me some good compost that we got out of our compost pile down in the bottom and around the sides of it, and we'll backfill it with the dirt from the chickens here. All right, now that we've got it full of compost, we're gonna go ahead and pull it out of the bucket, get it in there, get some more compost around it, and then put some of this good soil back. Now, I'm not saying this right here is good soil. I'll put that over the top of it and when it settles. But one thing I did want to bring up, me working for a pipeline company, anytime you dig, you need to call the locate in. Around here, and I'm pretty positive nationwide, you can call 811, and that will make that will have the local utilities come out and mark your property to make sure you're not digging, even with a shovel, on a gas line, a phone line, a big water line, or anything like that. One big problem, yeah, you may not hit it, but you plant this nice tree, it grows for 2 years, and then that company comes out and sees that it's on their right of way. They do have the authority to come in and remove that tree on your easement with your property, and whoever bought that right of way years ago, whether it was with you or the previous landowner, they signed a contract saying they will not put any structures or trees on there. So you might want to just call 811. It's free. They'll come out and locate, and just make sure that you're not doing something that will, in years down the road, turn out bad. All right, that's all the trees. I'm glad Lane showed up right in time to help me get that one put in. We want to thank Stark Brothers. They got some awesome products, but they set us up to give y'all 10% off. So just like always, you can use the discount code VWFF10 and save 10% on fruit trees, berry bushes, pecan trees. Just go check out Stark Brothers online, look through all of their products. I'm pretty sure it was, if you spend $50 or more, you get 10% off. So go check them out. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. I really want to tell this boy I owe him big time. I think he's getting super excited now. He come home and said, what if I get my own box and everything? Can we get him set up on a hive? Sure can. I'm actually trying to convince him that if he will start raising queens, he can start selling queens and making some extra money on top of what he's already making everywhere else around this homestead. So what do you think?
I'm excited to try something different. It'll be fun.
Yep. And how many times did you get stung today?
Only twice.
Only twice, and that's because you
Dumped him in my boot.
he had his muck boots on and had his pants tucked in.
And they may or may not have fell in my pants. And
you're lucky you only got stung twice.
yeah.
All right, thank y'all for hanging out with us. Until next time.
God bless.